What's up, guys? Pypo here, bringing you a video today doing some Mistweaver Monk action. Was not planning on recording this BG, that's why I'm not doing a live recording. I just happened to hit the record button, so I was like, maybe it'll be a good game, and it did actually turn out to be a really good game. Quite a long, I feel like these long Eye of the Storms are really, really good. But they pop like crazy. Like, Eye of the Storm is definitely my most frequently popped battleground. I'm not too sure why that is. Like, more than anything, I must have done like a bit. I have all the achievements for Eye of the Storm just by default, by just getting it so often that I just have them all. And it's weird that it's the main one that pops because I don't like it like that much. Like, I'd much rather be doing like Deepwind Gorge or WSG, Twin Peaks, anything like that. But they never. They're like maybe once or twice a day if I spend the whole day BGing, and the rest of the times it's like Strand of the Ancients, Eye of the Storm. Like, that's what I'm getting 9 times out of 10. And it's kind of annoying, but if you get a good game like this Eye of the Storm, then you don't really care because it's a good game. Also, on the Hunter, when you have like super long games, it gives you a chance to like get really good high scores and stuff like that. Like, you get like 30 KBs, you get a shitload of honorable kills, all that kind of stuff. But the main thing I want these days is achievements, because I'm trying to get like the Deepwind Gorge achievements. The problem is, if you specific queue for Deepwind Gorge, it takes 17 years. And it's near impossible because I really want that gorgeous title. I think that'd be an awesome title to have, like gorgeous. Is it before the name or after? Like gorgeous Pypo or Pypo Gorge? I assume it's before, otherwise it would make no sense. Either way, I'm gonna go to Fellwave over here. The start of this game is actually really fucking even. I wasn't too sure if we were gonna end up winning this or not because it was like crazy close to them. Like, we were like 600 points each at some point. They had the flag and then we had the flag, and it was really close. I run in there, save that dude's life, and then I'm like, I need to get it out now because I didn't realize there was a bunch of people coming up behind me, so I was actually kind of scared. 90% of the time on this monk, I'm just scared. I'm a frightened little Pypo on this monk. I don't know what it is about being. I don't know if it's because I'm small. I don't know if it's because I'm a monk, and especially since I'm actually decent at staying alive. I still, by the way, don't have prideful gear. I have my prideful weapons. I have like my prideful gloves and like a neck piece and a ring or something. I don't know. Or my trinkets. I don't know. Either way, I have like hardly any main pieces or anything like that of prideful. It's all Grievous. Not to mention my Grievous isn't enchanted or gemmed. I do this thing where like I know I'm gonna get prideful, like eventually, no matter what. So I don't gem or enchant the Grievous gear because it's just gonna get upgraded and go to waste anyway. And besides that, I don't really need the gems. And as you see here, I'm getting attacked by about 3 to 4 people here. I'm getting fucking lightning bolts. There's a mage, there's a hunter, all these people on me. I can still keep myself alive. I can still, even without the enchants and gems and without prideful, I'm still decent enough to like stay alive. And basically what I'm doing is using this orb. These orbs are so good. I don't know what the fuck like happened recently where I just like I kind of clicked in my head that I should be using a lot more orbs. And good fucking lord, these orbs are some legit shit. They just, for some reason, keep you alive no matter what. I've never, if I'm spamming orbs like on like beneath myself and just letting them tick on me, I've never died. I don't think I've ever died while doing that. I might have manned out eventually if I'm getting smashed in the face by a lot of people, but I've never died from that. So eventually I find my way back to the middle here and start healing up the groups and trying to keep everyone alive. Trying being the key word. A lot of these people are kind of squishy. I hate when there's like a warrior on my team. I hate when people play like I do on my hunter, when they overextend way too much and I'm healing them. And it's like, if you're not on Skype or on vent with someone and they overextend, there's no way for me to be like, hey dude, get the fuck back in range, I'm trying to heal you. And then I get pissed off with myself because I didn't stay in range and heal them. And it's just this terrible situation where I'm like, oh no, my teammate, like I'm failing at my job. I'm supposed to be keeping you guys alive and I'm fucking up. But hopefully that doesn't matter too much. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's a random battleground. Of course, there's going to be people that are going from like one point to the other. And Jesus Christ, were there some knockoffs just there. There was a lot of people flying in all kinds of directions. That was not a good place to be. But I'm sitting here watching this BG. I can smell like this really disgusting rice smell. I've never cooked rice in my life. I've never done it. I shouldn't say in my life. I've cooked like those packets of fried rice, because I like fried rice, you know what I mean? But it's like it's not like it's like homemade. It's not like anything like that. But I forgot to get Steve food, so I recently went and found like I don't know why every household has this. Mine does too, and I don't remember ever buying it. But I have like a bucket in my pantry that's just full of rice. I don't know how long it's been there. I hope rice never goes off because otherwise it's probably off because I have no idea how long it's been there. And I ended up cooking rice for Steve and just like mixing eggs through it. The smell of that rice is bad. It might have been off. I don't know if it was just like I just boiled the rice and now I have like this weird. I had to close my window to record, otherwise like it's blowing wind in my thing. So now that might be it. I have to like open up my house after this to get rid of that rice smell. Good lord, it's horrible. But what I did want to talk about in this video today was you guys really like stories. Like you guys are really liking stories, and you really like basically whenever I talk about my life and stuff like that. So a lot of you guys have been asking me Based on like some of my previous videos, based on my leveling videos. If you guys haven't watched my leveling videos, that's where I started kind of telling all my stories. Back in, I might have been like a whole year ago now. About a year ago, I started a leveling series on a warrior. And that warrior is I think I actually got him to 90, but I don't play him. And not only do I not play him, that all those videos back then are on a separate account. I ended up migrating accounts halfway through like my YouTube so far, and I lost a lot of those characters because I didn't want to pay for them to migrate, and I just like boosted a few characters because I was doing Recruiter Friend, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me. But yeah, I ended up telling a lot of stories back then. And a lot of people have been asking me to either tell the same story because it's a year later and they want me to tell it on a new video, or they've been asking me to tell more stories. I kind of don't want to retell the same stories I've told before, simply because I know they're out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're already out there. They're already on videos. People can go, you can go and find them if you want. If you guys want to watch this, it's basically just me chilling out and like talking shit. All my leveling series, that's pretty much all it is, you know, from fucking day one Hunter, especially those first like 10 videos. Back then I was kind of like bored. I was really bored, and I didn't know what my YouTube channel was gonna be, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just get on here and talk about myself and let people just know who I am. So like those first like 10 leveling videos is always me talking about either myself, my life, or like stories I've experienced and all that kind of stuff. It's all in there. It's all in there, and all the stuff that I've done. But a lot of people have been asking me to tell more stories, so I thought I was basically trying to think. The problem is all those stories that I thought of were like, they're pretty easy to remember. I have a terrible memory. My memory is like the worst thing in existence. And by the way, I end up halfway through this game, I pretty much decide that I'm gonna carry flags, and I hate this fucking guy that shows up right here. We're about to get the flag. Well, I'm about to carry the flag, but I stop because I see the middle is not. We don't have it. Across the middle, there's two Hordes in there, and there's one rogue. So I'm like, I'm not going to cap it because the rogue's not going to be able to keep it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'll wait until the fighting on the road finishes and they go in the middle. And this guy's fucking like, cap it. I'm not going to cap it. Look, are you looking at middle? We don't have middle. If you want me to cap it, run into mid and help the fucking rogue out, and then I'll cap it. Jesus, I hate that shit. God damn it. Fucking stand there telling me to cap. I know what I'm doing. Jeez, anytime anyone tells me what to do in a random, I'm like, man, go fuck yourself, dude. Jesus Christ. But I thought I would tell the story because I recently told the story of like my first date. So I thought I'd tell the story about like my first things for the first time I did things, because a lot of times I do my first like thing, I fuck up a lot. I'm the kind of person where like I never get it the first time. I don't know what it is about me, but I always fuck up. So I have a story of the first time I ever like went to the gym and fucked up. So basically, I live in the middle of nowhere. You guys know this. I shouldn't say the middle of nowhere, but like I live in the bush. And if I want to go somewhere, I have to drive about 45 minutes away from me. My school is about a 15-minute, well, my old school, I said my school. Jesus Christ. My old school was 15 minutes away from me. Like, and that's a 15-minute like bus ride. And just like halfway through schooling, I think I was in like year 9 or year 10. It was year 9 or year 10, I can't remember. And I was going to school one day, and there's like this bushfire and stuff that happened. I'm not getting into that because we live in bushfires happen a lot here in Australia. But across from the school, there's like this huge foresty plain bullshit, and a bushfire goes through there, which everyone's like blah blah blah. But like a month later, I guess just because there's no trees there anymore, I don't know what happened, but someone bought the land and built like they called it a leisure center. Which is like, I never understood why they called it a leisure center. It seems weird to me. But it's basically it was just a swimming pool to start off with, like a huge indoor swimming pool and like a fucking water slide and shit. And then eventually they put like an add-on gym. And that was the first gym that was like even remotely accessible to me because it's within a 15-minute drive. And this, by the way, I don't go to a gym anymore. I just have my own stuff. I hate gyms. I end up buying like my own shit to like work out with. Some gyms are fine. If you find a gym that you go like frequent and you find like you don't really pay attention to other people, it's usually fine. But anyway, let me tell the story. So I go to the gym. I go to school and talk to my buddies, and I'm trying to convince them to go with me because at the time like I didn't want to go with my like a new gym opened. I'm like 16 at the time, and it's like I want to go work out and shit. So I finally convinced like maybe 2 of my friends to go with me, and even then both of them are like, ugh. And by the way, that rogue, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He unstealths there, runs towards us, and does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. I'm not too sure what the fuck he was doing. So finally I'm like, man, let's go to that fucking gym. I basically forced these guys to go. It got to the point where I'm like, I want to go. You're coming with me. Let's just fucking go. I think we might have even skipped school for it. Like I think like we went to school and like the second period, I convinced him to go, and then I skipped the next 2 periods to go to the gym, which at the time no one really cared about. But sooner rather than later, the school had to like go and talk to the gym owner and make them not let kids in at certain times and shit, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I go to the gym. Once I get in the gym, it's already like plain and easy to see that it's full. I don't know where these people came from because I've never seen them. Like, I live in a small place, so I don't know where the fuck these guys came from. But it's already full of like these super huge, like jacked. Like, I don't know if they're on steroids, but back then as a kid, I was like, man, they must be using steroids. These days, I'm not so like ignorant, and I know like you can get those bodies without steroid usage if you have been working out for a long time and you stick to it. But back then, as a 16-year-old, I was like, holy shit, these guys are on roids, guaranteed, because they're the size of like 2 fridges put together, and then they have like giant gorilla arms on the side of the fridges. There's some big ass motherfuckers in there. So immediately I was fucking like nervous and threatened almost, like just seeing these guys in there. I was like, man, I'm coming in. I was like, so imagine me with like stick arms and like a fat body, because this is back then when I was like super fat. So I'm like extremely fat and like disgusting, and my arms for some reason weren't fat at all. Like I had thin spaghetti arms with like a fat stomach and like a fat face, and oh god, just a disgusting 16-year-old Pypo, pimples all over my face. Walk in here and there's just like these huge buff dudes everywhere. And I don't even know how to use any of this. I haven't worked out at all in my entire life. I think the most I ever did before then was like my dad had dumbbells. And when I was like a 14-year-old, like right before he left to go to Queensland, I think he went. But like basically the last time I ever saw him, he had dumbbells and I was at his house, and I just remember like using like just worthless weights that I don't even think they like whatever. Like that doesn't really count as working out. I just lifted up a weight. I could be like I lifted up a box and it was working out. Anyway. So we go to the gym. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, bench seems pretty straightforward. Right? You lay down on a bench, you push weight off your chest. And I'm like, immediately, I have no idea, like, how much weight I should be doing. So I'm, like, talking amongst my 2 buddies, like, trying to, like, work out how much weight to start with. Like, I have no idea. And I'm like, then we start doing, like, this weird math in our head, talking about how much a push-up would be, because like all of a sudden we got in this conversation somehow. I was like, well, you can do push-ups, yeah. And I'm like, well, yeah, everyone can do push-ups. Like, well, how much weight are you lifting when you do a push-up? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And then they're like, well, if you go put your hands on a scale, like a weight scale, and do a push-up, the scale will say how much weight you're lifting. I'm like, what? Like, I was like, I guess that's a thing. So we go into like their like locker rooms, and there's a fucking scale in there. We all do like a push-up on the scale. And the scale says that I'm like lifting like, I think it was like 50 to 60 kgs. 50 to 60 kgs? That sounds about right. 50 to 60 kgs. I think it was 50. It's my memories ago. It was either way. It was a decent amount of weight. And I'm like, man, 50 kgs, sure. That seems about right. 50 kg. In my head, I'm like, yeah, that's like halfway to 100. Sweet. I'm like, that's a good place to start. So naturally we all do that. My friends were both smaller than me. They had like a little bit less weight. They go first on the bench because they have less weight or some shit. I don't know how the fuck we worked it out. They're absolutely fine. They do relatively. By the way, that mage saved my fucking life right there. Did you see that? That mage saved my fucking life with that deep freeze. I was about to fly off like a bitch. Anyway, so they do their bench, and me and my other friend are both at the same time. I'm just spotting him, like standing either side in case we fuck up. Then it gets to my turn. When I get there, I realized that like one of the big fucking dudes, I think he was like sitting down doing bicep curls, was just like sitting down looking at us, like basically just watching us like with a stare in his fucking eyes, being all threatening and shit. And for some reason that made me be like, let's put some more weight on the fucking thing. Never lifted in my life. I was like, 50's not enough. Let's chuck some more on. So I think I almost put up like 2 plates, which is just it's a bad decision. Either way. So we put on, like, it was a little over 50. It wasn't too much more. It might have been like 60, 65 kgs. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do this. And I don't know how I even got the bar off of, like, the rack, because as soon as, like, I'm laying down, I push the bar off of the rack. I'm holding the weight now. And I'm holding the weight above my chest. My elbows are locked. And I'm like, man, I'm like holding it above myself. So it's immediately, for some reason, I think to myself, I can do this. Like, you're already holding all the weight. Of course you can do this. And then as soon as I like unlock my elbows, as soon as I unlock it, all the weight just comes down like really pretty fast. But I'm still like kind of holding it. And it goes all the way down. I touch my chest. and I get it maybe like an inch. I get it maybe like an inch off my chest. And for some fucking reason, my friends who are supposed to be spotting me are either like, one of them's on their phone or some shit. The other guy is like in like coach mode or some shit, and he's telling me to lift the weight up. Like he's got, I don't know what happened to him. I don't remember him being like this, but the same, like as soon as like I started to lift that weight, he's like, "Come on, Pypo, you can lift it." Rah! And then I'm free. I'm not even really listening to him because I'm too busy trying to push this fucking weight to the fucking ceiling. I get it maybe like 5 inches off my chest until like that big dude walks over. I didn't even see him walk over because I'm still too busy trying to lift his weight. Big dude walks over, grabs the weight with like one hand from over me, and re-racks the fucking weight. Re-racks the weight. My friends are like immediately like, "What the fuck?" And I sit up and I'm like breathing heavily and like I'm pretty sure like I just done broke all my fucking shit up and I went to Snap City. It was not a fun experience. And then we proceed to get like a fucking like lecture by this big dude. Was a cool guy. Was an absolutely cool guy. He's like, "What the fuck you kids doing? You don't know what the fuck? Why are you lifting this much weight?" It's like, it's obviously your first time and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. And then like he ended up like lecturing us on how to bench for like a good. It was actually my first gym experience, although the weightlifting sucked and I almost killed myself. If that guy wasn't there, I like literally that was so much weight. I don't even know if my two friends, like we're 16-year-olds and they're two skinny dudes. I didn't even know they could lift the weight off me, to be honest. I was way too overconfident with that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, to be honest. I don't know, like even now, like the amount of weight I tried to lift back then, I could probably get a good workout with now. Like after lifting for like 2 years, I probably could have a good workout. Like I'd lift more than that. But if I wanted to like take it easy one day and like just do high reps, I'd do that amount of weight that I try to do as a 16-year-old fat kid who'd never worked out in his life. Like just stupid shit. But anyway, yeah, it was this big dude. He actually he pulled a bench over or something. There's not many people in there because it's a relatively new gym, except for like 3 giant dudes. And there's one dude that came over, like pulled a bench over, sat down, had this conversation with us, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. Thanks, like, I was, like, thanking him a lot, like, profusely, and then we had to go back to school. We had to go back to school, and naturally, because school is school and my friends are assholes, immediately everyone knew about me not being able to lift weight and almost killing myself. And then it was really fun. Look at my transmog. I forgot my transmog. Look at that. That's sexy fucking, oh my god, that transmog is sexy. A little sexy gnome. Look at that. When did I get that transmog? I can't remember getting that, but that looks amazing. I'm hype city for that gnome transmog. Anyway, so I went to school and like immediately all my friends are like fucking know about it and everyone's fucking talking shit to me. Something about male friends, like when you're like friends with a lot of guys, all of those guys will just absolutely talk shit to you, like nonstop. I was the same. Like, I talked the shit to people, but that was like for the next couple months, that's what I was known for, was the guy that almost fucking killed himself at the gym trying to lift too much weight and shit like that. It was a bad reputation to have. But anyway, that's gonna be the end of the BG there, guys. I think at the end here, like we're at 1600 out of 1600, so I'm just gonna chill over here with my statue thing. Do I roll off? I roll off just because. Fuck it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Have a good life. Have a good year. I'll see you in the next video. See you guys. Oh, no. Pypo, don't do it. Come to your sentence, Pypo, now. Ah. Bless